faster! You guys gotta invest in tablets. Tablets are a little easier than those. Alright, welcome back. Here we go. After traveling for some time, the horse-drawn carriage you are in gets to a point where it can't go any further. See, the dirt road that leads up towards Vermillion is actually overgrown with tall grass, wildflowers, making travel for a horse and carriage almost impossible. Tall trees are flanking both sides of this overgrown path, and they moan and protest as your carriage comes to a stop. The surrounding forest appears to be overgrown as well with diverse plant life, fungus, weird wildflowers. There's also a very strong smell of wet earth and mold which fills this area of the forest. Shifts in the wind make it very uneasy as you prepare to exit the carriage. Jandar sitting in the carriage holding his cane. Well, this is where you'll earn your coin. Outside, it seems like evening is quickly approaching, but it is still late afternoon. The town of Vermillion should be up ahead. I'll wait here with the coachman, and if you need any assistance, give a holler, and I'll make sure the coachman comes to help you out. He sort of gestures to the front door. The door opens up as there's shifting and movement in the front. As you see the old man, the coachman, standing there, takes his cap off, puts it under his arm, glancing over all of you, at each of you, almost as if this is probably the last time he's going to see any of you alive. The coachman puts his head down and goes back to the front of the cabin. You see him petting a horse. You guys ready?
I'm gonna go pet the horse too.
Is there anything interesting
Say goodbye.
About the carriage?
The dude.
It's just an old guy that he's hired. Probably friend of the family.
Seems suspicious.
Jandar says, quickly, make haste. Nightfall will be upon us, and I do not want to be stuck in this part of the town or the woods when night hits. So, please. He sort of gestures again for you guys to exit. Any information you find about Cedric and the mine, please make sure it's documented and you let me know. Hip hip.
I run out.
Okay, you jump out.
Claw my way out.
I start examining the ground, different little stones, just to get a feel for the area.
Everyone make a nature check when you first step out, please. And this has to be high. If you got 17 or higher, let me know.
17.
Two.
I'm surprised. Keep doing this when the fighting happens. She rolls usually really high.
At everything I do, remember?
I know.
Like there.
I
Start slow.
And then you pick up.
Yeah.
Oh, I use
So
roll
it's
terrible or
Oh,
just
shit.
roll rocks?
You're somewhat familiar not only with caverns and stuff, but woods and nature. This area of the forest seems very overgrown. It's very strange that it's so overgrown with such. You see all sorts of mushrooms. Some mushrooms you've never even seen before. Vines going up all the trees, choking them up.
Take a bite of a mushroom.
Tastes like a regular mushroom. Your eyes sort of glance up at the sky. Now the rest of you see this tiny little kobold looking upward. Looking up above your head, all of the tree branches almost intertwined like arms trying to blot out any type of sky. In the distance though, going north more, where the dirt path was, it's overgrown now, you see geometric shapes way up in a clearing about a good 60 yards ahead. And that to you looks like that's probably where the town is. Nature should not be this overgrown. That makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The land's sick. Something's wrong here.
Are there any flowers like I look around?
wildflowers everywhere.
Yeah, like on the
Wildflowers.
trees to ID them.
Make a nature check, please.
I am not used to this landscape. I am more
7.
with the sea.
They look like normal wildflowers
Like
too. I love it.
flowers.
This is rare for her. Great, I love it. All right, so
I always roll really high.
actually we're going to move forward.
Salt will be like, follow me. I will lead the way.
All right.
And I'll stand in the front. And
I kind of bend down and look for any purple wildflowers.
You do find purple wildflowers. They're purple, pink, red, whites, yellows.
I grab one of the purple ones and put it in the lapel of my cloak.
Okay. You want to mark that down? So.
keep the small one here. Let's not lose it. It starts.
I'm just picking up random
Yeah.
stones and stuff as I go.
The dagger that I actually have on the chain that's furrowed around, I'm just gonna cab it slightly unfurled.
All right. As you guys are preparing, picking up nature, getting your weapons ready, looking and analyzing, staring the area, you feel sort of uncomfortable yourself. Each of you have this feeling of dread. You almost feel like the hairs in the back of your neck start to begin to stand. You sort of shake it off. But in the distance, you clearly see the geometric shapes of appears to be houses 60, 70 yards up ahead. Okay.
Find anything good, Sparky?
Ah, shiny stone.
Cool.
At least you're consistent.
Are the plant growth, is it, how tall is it?
It's about tall grass is about 3 to 4 feet. So he's going to be covered. Oh, so you're going to have a hard time. It's going to be difficult to
This is a jungle to me.
Yeah.
Salt will go down and pick you up and put you on his shoulder.
All right.
I'll accept it.
So, almost movie-like with soldiers in Vietnam trudging through the water, holding their weapons out. You guys are about waist high in this grass as you slowly move forward towards the town of Vermillion. And after you finally clear a tree line, before you is a small, abandoned village. Overgrown with weeds, mushrooms, and vines along all the walls and structures, the village is eerily quiet and gives off an unnatural warmth, almost tropical. You begin to see the beads of sweat forming on all of your foreheads as you slowly move forward. Some of the homes are still standing, but most actually lie and crumble. Leafless vines are climbing a lot of these rotting walls, and you also see some houses have gnarled trees shooting out from the middle of them, going from inside the house, going straight upward. The overcast sky, it's kind of hard to tell if it's evening yet, but you get very uncomfortable as you head towards this area. So, you guys are you just cleared the tree line, staring at this village. Way at the far end of the village appears to be a large dead tree, and probably another massive house behind that.
This seems like places we want to go.
What do you guys think about that tree up there? You think I can hit it?
That's necklace injury.
I pull out my crossbow.
In the cemetery, I believe.
Salt, as they're talking about what they're doing, you think you hear, coming from the side of that house, a child whispering. No one's picked it up yet, but you hear it, plain as day.
Guys, I don't think we're alone. There seems to be children about.
Are you hearing things? I don't hear anything.
Yeah, you guys don't hear it.
Sparky's a kobold, not a child.
No. I can hear very well. Possibly, it seems to be in this house.
Sounds like a kid's trying to hide, and you're trying to talk to them, but you're hearing this voice coming somewhere between these two houses. You hear it day. You know there's a child somewhere over there.
He's this way, and he starts walking like over towards it.
All right, let's do the movement of how much movement?
I'm on him, I guess.
All right, so you both move it up.
Yeah, I can move I'll move.
I'm on top of you.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So actually, like here-ish. That'll be. That's 30-ish.
What about you?
Just before, while they're moving that way, I'm a caution of warning to them, like, let's not. That sounds so suspicious.
Salt is the highest perception of this as well. Let's see, Alan.
I'm gonna move kind of straight ahead through the middle of the town, flanking them, but the full 30 feet distance.
And you?
I'm gonna go to the right of him and the little guy. So like have a straight view of the front door of the house.
Okay.
You can move me, I can't really see it.
Like there-ish.
Yeah,
No.
it will kind of clear me out so I'm not
I don't want anyone in my
with it.
straight line of sight except for the door.
I need to be within 30 feet of the door.
Okay.
And how?
I do not.
You say we're waist
It's
deep?
about 3 feet high of tall grass,
So
overgrown
you
grass.
want to be on this side.
Yeah.
At this juncture, you've only been in this town for probably about a good 5 minutes or so, and all of you begin to sweat from the humidity. Something catches your attention at the far end. You see a large stag, a deer, beautiful looking deer over by these gates of a cemetery, walking between the houses, standing in the middle of the road, staring at all of you. This deer has majestic antlers that go straight up to the sky, covered with all sorts of wildflowers. And this large stag has moss growing on its back. it defiantly stands and stares at all of you, and it gives out a yell.
I address the party and I say, "Is that a friend of yours?"
I tug on your ear. Meet!
And as soon as you say that, the stag hops and disappears between the buildings. The whispers over there have subsided.
They seem to have left.
You want to try the door anyway?
Should we search the house?
What's the harm? We are here to investigate.
I conjure mage hand
Okay.
and attempt to open the door.
Your mage hand goes up towards this front door of the house. It stops. The door is completely in shambles. Inside, from where you can see, most of you guys, it's dark, but you see rafters and fallen pieces of roof. There are actually small trees growing in there. It's impassable. Based on that observation, you know there's no one there.
Yeah.
You swear you heard a child. It's sure as shit.
Does it look climbable?
The house looks very unstable.
Okay.
All of them do. A lot of them do. There's one or two in this town that probably don't look as stable where you might be able to go in, but that house in that area sure is so far.
What about for like a little jumpy dude? Can he fit up there?
Salt will.
Where you want me to put me? On top of the
On
house?
top of the house, yeah.
You gotta climb up this roof.
This spark can go anywhere. Yeah. Let's do it.
It's covered in moss and vine. I need you to make a dexterity DC
I will also
12.
pass guidance on you.
Can you like raise your
Dexterity
hand
save.
and like lift him up so he can get up there?
Yeah, I'll like pick him up.
So that is a
Just
12.
eat him.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah,
That's
9
exactly
plus 3.
That's what you needed.
Hey.
You see this little kobold scoot up and climb up, and you grab it onto the vines, and normally a normal person would slide right off, but somehow you get to the top. You have a good bird's eye view from where you're at, overlooking the entire village, and it looks dead. No movement, no activity, but something catches your attention. A huge 2-story house on the other side of the graveyard, and you listen very carefully, and you hear.
Someone needs help over there. Towards the house.
You see anything in the house?
Do I see anything?
You look, it's very hazy, and there's all sorts of mist, and there's also pollen floating around. And at that moment, I need everyone, one at a time, we're going to make a, entering the town is a saving throw, Constitution saving throws. 12 or higher.
20.
No shit. We have our first nat 20!
Me too.
Anybody get under 12?
Under?
Yes.
Yes.
Because of the amount of pollen and very microscopic spores that are flowing throughout this entire village, which he can see now where he's at, you're going to suffer while you're in the town of Vermillion a -5 on all perception checks. Your eyes begin to water. You feel like you have to sneeze. The allergies are hitting you, so you're very uncomfortable in this town. You heard the screams at that structure way down the road. Something else catches your attention to a colorful house over here that doesn't look so bad as if you can possibly go inside. You hear subtle knocking coming from that house, but you can't tell where exactly it is. But you hear it, soft and subtle.
I speak into a little. I tap my hammer against a stone, and I speak into it, and I toss it down to one of you guys. As you touch it, you hear my voice say, "Someone's tapping on that door over there." And as I'm pointing, as you catch it.
A lot of these houses are rubble, debris. You can tell you cannot pass. That house he's pointing to, the color house right there, looks like it's stable, and the front door, though it's missing, you may be able to go to it. This is Kira. As he's communicating with the rest of the party, you begin to see between these two houses a shadow in the grass moving slowly towards the party. Very slow, maybe about a good 10 feet per turn. Almost serpentine, but it's a shadow. And it's creeping from the house. It's almost as if the shadow between these two houses is moving forward. Nobody else has picked up on it, but you have.
I'm gonna point my crossbow at the shadow and yell, "Show yourself!"
When she says that, you hear a screech throughout the entire village. And you all hear that when she shouts that out. You try to figure out where that screech is coming from. You have no idea, and it sounds like it echoes throughout the entire town.
I reach into my cargo pockets and I cast magic stone, 3 stones in my hand as little sparks fly across them.
Okay, and you're still on the roof, or you jump down?
I'm still on the roof as far as I know.
Yeah.
Be like, and I helped you
Put it
too.
up on
Yeah,
there.
the chimney looks like the best place.
Yeah.
As long as I don't fall in.
All right. The shadow is still coming closer, and it's about the size of a vehicle. You see it in the weeds, moving almost like a shark in the water. The rest of you can't pick up what she's picking up, but you can see it. It's slowed down, but it's still slowly approaching the target. And you have your crossbow out.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. AC is good.
21.
Combat happens. Your arrow sails right through the bolt. Rather, it's a crossbow, right? The bolt sails through the air, goes into the ground, and impales where the shadow is. And at that moment, you see the shadow recede back between the houses and disappear. It's quiet once again.
Literally, it's shooting at shadows.
I could do this all day, guys.
Oh, there. Is there knocking coming over there?
Shall we go check?
That's what we're here for.
Or do we?
Is there? Is the roofs too far apart for me to go from one roof to the
You can
next?
try, but it's going to be hard because of the moss and the vines and the unstable roof and the shingles. I have no problem with you doing it, but we're going to make some rolls. DC's going to be kind of high. And depending on how high you are, you could possibly take bludgeoning damage from the fall.
I think I'll just climb down. As cool as it would be.
Salt will help you.
It would. If it was a normal town, I'd be like, let's do it. But this is so overgrown with
Yeah.
shit. You get down, and Ionis, you begin to notice all the hairs on your arms starting to stand up, the back of your neck. You feel very uncomfortable. You see shifting movement over another structure over here. Appears to be two children peering around the corner, and they suddenly disappear between the houses. Small children size. They look human to you. Once they saw that you noticed them, they disappeared between the houses.
So clearly some kind of fuckery is going on up here.
I can try to lure him out. I can put light on the stone and toss it. Maybe someone will come get it.
Or I can call out to them. I can make my voice loud.
You do like bird calls?
No,
But I have an idea.
Yeah.
I could go stand between the buildings, sit down and begin to play music. Children like music, yes.
Yeah.
Children that only run in the shadows? Perhaps not.
So, are you going to walk forward and do this?
I am.
Okay, the bard you see sort of taking out what instrument?
It's my dulcimer.
Okay, and what the hell's a dulcimer?
Long, skinny, flat top guitar.
Okay. And you see him taking it out and walking through this high grass. By the way, the grass is going to be very hard movement. If there's any type of running and stuff, I'll bring it up. But you start going through and you're playing the instrument. Move your character closer to your distance that you can move.
I was just gonna say, while he's doing that, can I ritually class detect magic?
Yes.
Okay, so Sparky will grab his hammer and just starts gyrating, and you see little sparks gathering on the hammer as I take 10 minutes to ritually
I'll
cast.
let it happen. And you're not detecting any magic.
I'm gonna reload my crossbow while I'm doing that.
I'm gonna walk behind you
Put your character over there.
and take out the you're right there, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll stay about that far behind you.
You're approaching the houses. You think you hear children whispering between those two houses as you're playing. Possibly two kids are playing hide and seek. Because you hear it now, you hear this. You hear it clear as day, and now you know that you're not crazy. They sort of look at each other.
And it's between the houses?
Oh, yeah.
And there's still the knocking over there as well.
Yep, subtle knocking.
Oh, I was saying I'm taking out the sword of vampire.
Almost as if somebody's trying to get out of the box.
Is everyone hearing different things, or is it just me?
There's a lot of things that we're hearing.
Like, I'm hearing knocking, he's hearing kids.
There's definitely children about.
See, look, I told you that.
I'm not hearing the kids.
Oh, I trust you. Trust me.
I don't think. We're all hearing different things, right?
Yeah, you're hearing different things. So, yeah, you're concentrating. You hear that knocking. That's got your attention. She's watching for shadows. She's scared of whatever the shadow she saw. The rest of the party heard what they heard.
I hold up my crossbow again. I'm like, I'm ready for more.
This is classic kobold trick. They're trying to separate us. Trying to get us different directions. We gotta stay together.
No, you can separate. I have no problem with that. Alan, as you start approaching and you're nervously playing your instrument, move your character another 15 feet up, and whoever's with you move up as well.
As he's moving up, I am going to go slightly to the side, but also use myself.
And at that moment, as you approach the corner of the house, you suddenly hear glass shatter to the left where those kids are possibly at.
How far away am I?
The distance is right there.
I cast Fairy Fire right here.
The whole area lights up and gets illuminated.
You're gonna start a
There is
fire.
tall grass, a bunch of serpentine branches growing out between the houses, going up to the sky, reaching on top of the rooftops like skeletal hands. But you see no movement. In fact, it is so cluttered with plant life and branches, it's almost impossible for even kids to be in that area.
I look back at the party and say, I don't believe there's anything alive in
Everything has to be dead.
I'm focusing on the plant that's growing there. Is it growing like abnormally fast?
Make a perception roll.
Wait, hold on.
Sparky says you.
10.
Stay close, salty one. Stay close.
Wait a minute. The
The
plants.
plants look normal,
Well,
as far as you can tell.
it's the pollen. That's
Well, then we have to burn the flowers that are producing pollen.
don't you have
Yeah.
the?
Herbology
Now,
101.
not only the entire town is overgrown with foliage, but the rest of the forest is all over. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't you have the stuff?
I do, but it only impacts 20 feet, so we need to use that wisely.
Okay.
Perhaps when we're in more
At this
danger than shadows.
Time I'm gonna get my
Now all of you begin to hear bang coming from a structure right there. And that house sort of looks like it's put together, except the front door missing.
I yell towards the house mockingly, yes, come in.
You guys hear a screech go throughout the town once again of some type of ungodly creature.
Well, that sounds hospitable.
I'm gonna get my water skin and kind of pour it into my eyes from the pollen.
Okay, you try it, and it's just your eyes are getting assaulted by these pollen and spores that are just yeah, and you're sneezing and you're having a hard time concentrating on a lot of shit.
Watch him do this. Can I walk up to him and see if I can figure out what's going on?
Make a medicine check.
19?
Yeah, he's having a severe allergic reaction to the pollen and the spores that cover this entire village, an area of the woods, matter of fact.
You seem to be allergic what is here. Maybe find something to cover your mouth. It might help you breathe better.
You can use my mage hand still active.
It dissipated.
Is there a window, like, on that building there?
The window, you do see windows that are completely shattered. There are vines spilling outside the house, from inside the house to the outside of the walls of the window, creeping up to the sides and to the roof. So it's like the inside is probably overgrown, but from where you guys can tell, the front door, since it's not there, it goes into a dark cavity into the house. So you may be able to move inside, but you don't know until you're close enough.
Could I, like, aim my crossbow at that noise and shoot it?
The noise is coming from inside the house, then.
Yeah.
So you can shoot the house.
Well, I guess, because if there's a window, like, I could shoot it.
That's from what you can tell. The window is overgrown. It's like standing and looking at an abandoned house, and you're looking at a window that's completely gone, shattered, and you just see old plants and vines and overgrown shit.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick up, like, a rock then and throw a rock at the window.
Let's do a dexterity throw. That'll be disadvantage. It's a call shot. I'll give you a DC of 10.
Can I tap on him? Can I use my hammer to tap on him and there's a little spark
14.
and you start smelling the odor of bacon? Does that help?
I don't know.
You throw it, and it actually hits, and it bounces, and it goes into the house. An owl chants to the darkness. That's all you see. Okay, are we gonna move up?
I have a feeling
On
that
top of him still.
that house making all the noise is where we should be going.
Maybe.
I
Or
don't think standing here with the pollen bothering us is gonna solve any problem.
As
I
I'm
completely
gonna get the scarf and just kind of just.
Coachella
I'll
vibes.
tell you what, do a medicine check, disadvantage if you've got 12 or higher. If you make this roll, you're no longer affected by it.
Both are 1 to 12 at disadvantage. The other one's 14, so it's 12, and that's a medicine.
You're no longer affected as you realize that covering your mouth and stuff and breathing in these spores has sort of prevented you from being affected.
Can I look at him and be like, maybe I should try that?
Yes.
Hashtag Coachella vibes.
See if you can figure it out. 12 disadvantage, please.
What kind of roll?
Medicine.
12.
Okay, so everyone's fine because you have the rest of you guys are strong enough where you can deal with the allergies. You both have covered up your faces. You're fine. So are we going to move up to that house?
I'll move within 30 feet of it and then use thaumaturgy to knock on the door.
Okay. There's no door. It's just an open doorway. Even though there's a door there, it's just...
Yeah,
This
sorry.
Yeah, that house. Yeah.
So,
That's
like,
the one that was knocking the whole time.
then to make like a rumble of thunder go through it then.
Actually, okay. I was about to say, since you're walking up there, I was gonna say I'm gonna lightly knock on the door using minor illusion through the.
You guys are assaulting this poor house. It's probably like a rabbit or something making noises inside.
How close are we getting?
Yeah, you guys can move up there.
I'm getting within 30 feet.
She's slow on the Kira,
Bad decision.
as you're
but it's
positioning
fine.
yourself away from the party, in the distance, in the house on the other side of a graveyard that seems to be overgrown, you hear a woman, clearly as day, screaming for help inside that house.
Wait your turn.
All right.
Oh, hey, baby.
So these you guys are making sounds, and what were you doing with thaumaturgy? Knocking.
Rumble of thunder.
Oh, the house begins to shake and rattle. You see moths and mosquitoes fly upward and dissipate into the sky. Inside, you hear what sounds like some type of door squeaking. Whether somebody went out the back or the side or inside, you don't know. But that worked. It startled something inside that house.
Well, whatever was in there is gone now.
Sparky's head's on the swivel.
With the perception, yeah, you're right at this point. You don't hear the knocking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You think it may be safe.
Shall we go look inside?
We
Let's
want
have
to go in
one.
that house.
Why not?
Huh?
We're here.
No, the two-story house.
We're here for a lot of things.
We're here for whatever we want. I say we go in.
Sure.
She's saying it loud enough, so you guys. I mean, obviously she's shouting.
Fish
Yeah,
will,
I'm like all the way over here.
Salt will puff out his chest and walk through the door.
All right, so let's move you guys up forward. Just tell me who's going into the door. Who's in front of the house?
I will be in the front of the door first.
Let's put your character over there.
I guess I'm on his shoulders. Going in with pebbles in hand.
I'm probably 10 feet behind you.
You can put it on this over here.
I did tell you guys that the other two sessions I played, people came close to dying, but no one died, right?
Oh,
So you guys want to make sure that you're not.
Yeah, because Gio's OP.
In fact, since I'll be like a sentry and all ready to throw a stone if anything.
If he comes out,
Yeah.
aggressive.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
so
aggressive.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
Let's put that tagline on there.
All right, so this party of three, as you approach this, it's a vine-covered shop, and it displays a sign, an old sign hanging from a rusted chain above the door. There's a magic wand and a blacksmith hammer crossing like an X on this old sign. The main door is actually missing, and from where you stand, the shop's interior appears somewhat dark. You see several moths and mosquitoes that originally flew off the house because of the thaumaturgy sort of fly back in past all of you into the darkness of this house. It appears you can actually go inside.
Could we see a sign or something, did you say?
Yeah, it's a sign. It looks like a magic wand and a blacksmith hammer across like an X.
Okay.
Everybody make a perception roll. This is high. If you have 16 or higher, you get
Oh, 19 plus
24 with an hour 20 minutes.
shit.
16 on the die plus
21.
Oh my
3,
God.
so 19.
Motherfuckers. All right. As you're looking and scanning the house, right outside the front door, laying on the ground, is the door to the structure. A normal person wouldn't see it, but you guys all noticed it. Another thing you notice, this door has massive claw marks, old claw marks, embedded throughout the entire door from top to bottom.
Jacob?
I look at my claws, compare them for a second. Are they bigger or larger?
Make a nature check.
Can I aid him? As
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep. You get a
looking at
plus.
it as
I'll
well.
give you a +5 to your roll. You need 15 or higher.
25. Actually, no, 24 because I have a -1. So.
These claws are claw marks of a creature or a person you've never seen before. So, it's definitely not a weapon, but it's something natural.
Seems some form of beast, possibly larger than me, has been through here in this house. Look at these claws.
Now, the rest of you is a high roll, investigation, and again, this is 16 or higher.
8.
9.
Got that one.
my investigation.
I got a nat one, but +5, so 6.
I spooked out.
Anybody get that number?
8.
Nope.
9.
This
We
sucks.
all ran out.
All right, so you just noticed the door and this empty doorway going into the structure, and the door isn't that wide, so you're looking at one person at a time going into this dark structure.
Does the door look like it's like bigger because of?
No, the door that's on the ground looks like it matches the front door as far as width. It's about maybe 2.5 feet wide.
Is there like space that we could shoot or throw something into the room without
Yeah,
entering?
it goes in. It goes in a good 10 feet.
Is it
or so.
Okay.
dark or
Yes,
light
it's dark.
on the inside?
Can I just chuck another rock in there?
Well, I can throw light in there.
I wanted to like see if there was a disturbance more than like gain any knowledge from it. Just to be like, look, those guys.
Okay.
All right, go for the roll. 10 or higher, please.
19.
Of course. You throw that pebble in there. It gets quiet. You hear nothing inside.
Okay. Well, there's no one there, guys.
I can see, but if you need light, you can.
I see.
See,
So who's going in first? That's the key.
Salt will go in first.
I'm on him. So.
All right.
Is there an echo when I throw it? Like it's like
It's
empty?
muffled because of moss.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm just looking in the doorway. That's what
You start taking your first steps inside. Here's something inside. Sounds like a child.
Who?
Brendan.
You hear it too now because you're on his shoulder, right?
Yeah.
You both pick it up, and it's coming from inside that house.
Who's Brendan?
Are you asking me, or are you saying out loud?
Say it out loud.
Who do you think Brendan is? What? What are you talking about?
Somebody's asking where Brendan is inside.
I didn't hear anything.
You ask that. It's quiet except for several owls in the distance, all howling when you speak like that.
I'm Brendan.
All right, so we're going marching in. All right.
Good try.
So, as soon as you enter this area, there's a thick layer of dust that covers everything inside this building. You see a forge that sits dormant in the far corner. You see a blacksmith's anvil and an empty trough lying next to it. On the opposite side of this large square room are 2 workbenches with some stools. Everything is covered in grass, weeds, and you also see weird funguses along the walls on the inside. There is a rear doorway at the back of the structure, the square building, but it's impassable. You see it's completely cluttered with fallen rafters, wood beams, and sections of decayed roofs. So the only type of movement or activity you can move around in is the main room of this building you just entered.
Is there anything out of place new that's not fitting with the surroundings?
Make a investigation roll. DC 13.
That is a 15.
Because you're elevated, your eyes are scanning about the place that's covered in dust. There is in a corner of the northwest corner. There is on the floor a dust void of a perfect square, about 2 feet by 2 feet on the ground, of the wood floor. And this area is actually not even covered with grass.
Just a dust square?
A dust void, meaning
Okay.
if this area is covered with dust and I remove this,
Yeah.
you would see a dust void.
Like
Something was over there. I pointed out to you.
Shall we go look?
I'll watch.
Sit down. Stop. We'll walk over.
For the 3 that are outside, you begin to hear clearly a woman screaming from help at a house on the other side of the cemetery. She seems very frantic, and it actually makes you uncomfortable. Okay, we're gonna move over there by ourselves, and are you gonna stay there?
Can I just yell into the distance, who are you?
Once again, you all hear this, and you both inside hear that outside as well. But there's no answer that's legible.
Well, it's a bird.
All right, so you approach this floored square. It appears there's a small latch or a handle on the floor. It's all covered in some type of soot, but it is not that many dust. It almost looks like this is a panel on the ground.
I seem to find a hiding place. Shall I open it?
Yeah. Wait, before you do anything with that.
You're right there looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I'm like, can I investigate to where he's about to place his hand for any type of traps or anything like that?
Yes, you can.
I can open it
crowbar.
if need be.
That's a nat 20.
What is it?
Nat 20.
Nat 20! Alright, there are no traps whatsoever. It appears to be a compartment that was placed on the ground, probably to hide stuff. And it seems like somebody may have messed with it sooner than later because of the dust void. You're lifting.
Yeah.
Are you still outside or did you go inside?
I'm kind of looking in.
You lift it up, and as he opens up the compartment, you see a glow in front of him. So you see his silhouette from the ground. It's a nice angelic glow. As you lift it, a shield, a round shield with a pedigree of a sun, magically floats up and levitates right in front of you and stares at you. It doesn't seem hostile, but it immediately spins around you and comes between these two, and almost like it's defending itself as it's floating back and forth. You guys see this magic shield. You found an animated shield.
Wow. That's nice.
This gives you a +1 on your AC. The good part about this is it allows you to have both hands free. Any type of combat or melee action, the shield flies off your back, and it's almost like a little buddy, and it flies around and tries to take damage.
I attack shield. Just try to ding it with my hammer.
It moves away, higher up for you to miss, but it stays hovering next to him. It perceives you as no threat.
I look down at the ground.
I'm gonna wait at the carriage. There's also a leather satchel that you see in there. Pulling out the leather satchel, you find 3 dried insect legs inside. Pretty large. You two guys can make nature checks. You're right now with your shield. The shield sort of hovers and lands onto your back almost like a turtle shell.
15,
Turtle.
Oh shit, you guys did very well. Those are the legs that belong to a rare form of grasshopper. And lastly, inside this compartment, there is a brass ring lying in the dirt. You guys sort of see this.
Yeah.
What did you find in there?
Oh, does it have the thing with the snow? Yeah, the snow.
No, this is a normal-looking brass ring. There are some etchings on it, and you sort of look at it. I need Arcana checks.
I definitely pick it up. That's a 19 plus.
Are you going into this building also?
I'm looking in. I'm standing kind of next to him.
All right, so you.
24.
Of course you did. You see the etchings. There's some magical etchings, but you see drawings of grasshoppers etched inside the ring, real small. And you remember taking classes on magic and magic items. This is called a ring of jump.
Perfect for a cool.
You need verbal command, semantic, and materials. And the materials for your study is a grasshopper's hind leg. The duration is for
that bag.
The duration is for 1 minute. Any creature that jumps, their jump is tripled when they do the spell ingredients: the verbal, semantic, and the using the grasshopper's leg.
And how many grasshopper legs do I have?
3. So it gives you 3 times. It lasts for about a minute. Your jump is tripled. It's 10 feet times 3.
That's perfect.
Any items you find in this campaign, like with your vampire dagger, which is insane, write it down in your notes. If not, if we ever play again, you can't use them. But if you do have them, then the next campaign, if you play with me, you can absolutely use these things. All right, so there's nothing else of value inside this this structure or this business that's been completely destroyed. So we'll step outside. Again, the town is very quiet and eerily. Early evening's approaching. Yes.
Sorry, attunement. Is it automatically attuned or?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. I'm not gonna have you sit around and wait till it's okay.
Just make sure. Yeah.
And finally, when you all exit, once again, you hear, not all you hear from that building, and the voice echoes throughout the area. But you see a graveyard and a large dead tree in the middle of this old graveyard.
I'm right up by the doorway. I start walking directly toward the tree.
I'll walk with you.
I'll also walk towards the tree. I'll pick up my friend.
Yep.
I need to
Two guys
find
over there.
Lucas's necklace inside the tree.
I am a good climber, Shell.
You know, as we walk up together, and I'm gonna inform you guys, and I'm doing this. As all the voices that we keep hearing, I'm gonna throw a voice back towards this way of just like, help me, just to see if anything happens as well.
Whatever magic you guys use or interference, it's whatever is around you or does not like it. As you hear a screech once again. And in front of you guys stands a bare tree in the lawn of a large 2-story house. Now this tree is gnarled and its branches, again, they reach upward towards the sky like hungry fingers. There's a crooked wrought iron fence that hangs open, and there are crumbled walls all around this small cemetery. There's a dilapidated graveyard with overgrown weeds around all the headstones that surround this dead oak tree. Soft and subtle cries of the dead, faintly heard in the distance. The west side of this tree, though, you guys notice a knot, a hole. But this knot resembles of a carved, screaming skull on the side of the tree. Fireflies are floating about this graveyard like little specters, occasionally illuminating tombstones, mushrooms, and the tree base as they fly around. As you approach, it gets really colder. The temperature drops. You begin to see frost coming from your mouths with every exhale of breath.
Now this feels better.
I wasn't dressed for this.
I start hibernating.
On the
Bad omens when the
front
weather
part
changes quickly.
of the can I see
Yes.
any of the headstones?
From where you're at, no, but you have to go inside that gate.
So I'm going to move right to the gate. The tree, can I see the knot in the tree?
Yes, you all can. It's pretty large. It's about, if I say 6 feet. But yeah, 6 feet up. It's a hole. It's about the size of a basketball, but around the knot, the hole looks like a skull screaming carved.
How far am I from the tree?
The distance you can see.
I'll move up behind you.
Salt will move in the graveyard and start.
Who's going first? That's what I'd like to know.
I'm going to send the mage hand in and attempt to reach inside the knot.
Mage Hand goes in and floats into the graveyard. Suddenly dissipates as it approaches the tree.
Shit.
Salt will walk up and.
You guys all see that. His Mage Hand valiantly just goes in, and all of a sudden just dissipates.
That's never happened before.
And then no magic from I guess around that point.
Possibly.
I don't know, I've never had that happen before. Normally, let's just say I don't normally fail in that way. I think that I'm going to stay here for now.
As he says that to Bard, you see his breath clear as day. It's very cold. It's about in this area about 40, 35 degrees.
Guys, I feel like I'm in the freezer aisle over here. What are we doing?
And all the guys quickly look at her chest like, oh!
Is there anything moving? Anything else moving about?
Fireflies, majestic-looking fireflies all around the ground, about waist level. It's not that overgrown with grass, except for the mushrooms.
I'm gonna move in more and look at the first set of graves.
Small one. You
Put your
check
character up.
the graveyards. I'll look into the tree.
Around the graveyard?
Yeah, like check the headstones, and I'll check the.
Ionis, you're the second person to go inside. You look down at a headstone, and it clearly reads, there's some type of eulogy written on this headstone, and it reads, Ionis' story ended once he entered the mine. Year 1045. At least Ionis did not die alone. May he or she, and it just trails off. Okay, yes.
I'll walk up to the tree and be in about probably.
Yeah, it's no level. Oh, look at that. You look inside this hollowed knot, and it's all covered with dead leaves. You see an occasional beetle coming from outside the cavity and going up the side of the tree. You also notice some very small mushrooms, almost on a spiral going outside the tree on its surface, going up and up and up. It's the only living thing.
What were the vibes you got from your mage hand around that tree?
It dissipated before he got there.
Yeah. So is that a good sign normally, or not so good?
He's freaked out.
Yeah.
He's almost like catatonic at this point. He's never had that happen before.
Sparky will run off. Is the grass still high here?
No. Okay. There's no weeds or anything in this area. Just
He
mushrooms.
starts walking about the
perimeter?
About the perimeter where on the inside though. And keeps getting almost wants to go touch a firefly, but it's gonna try to restrain from doing that.
This will be no, this will be passive perception, which is 10. You are Sparky or 12. As you start edging on the inside and looking at the fireflies, you see the fireflies, unbeknownst to Alan, slowly dance around his hand. They're not attacking him. He's too busy looking and speaking with her, but you see them all dancing around his hand. And then the fireflies sort of dissipate and go about their business.
He looks at her. Hey, cast magic. Do something.
Okay, and I attempt to conjure the mage hand again.
And your mage hand actually manifests. Okay, you're at the cavity hole.
Yeah.
You see what you see. Your mage hand pops up and sort of seems to be like moving around. The fireflies seem to be stirring about and swirling around the ground, off and on, off and on.
Do they move back to his hand?
No.
No? You had fireflies around here. Yeah, I don't know.
I send the hand back toward the tree.
Okay, you see this hand, magical hand approaching. What does it look like, your magic hand?
It's purple, large, long fingers, one black fingernail.
Okay. So, are you going to reach in or you let the magic hand do it?
I'll watch the magic hand first, and then
I'm still in distraught as of what I'm looking at. I'm like,
and Kira, as you stand and watching all of your partners, you notice a lot of the tombstones all have the same date of the people who died. They say 1045. That's the year they died. 1045. The magic hand goes in. I need the controller of magic hand to make an investigation roll.
Six.
Your hand, the magic hand goes in there, pulls out. You see lots of dead leaves fall outward, fall towards you. Your magic hand finds nothing.
Okay.
I'll say a small player, cast guidance on myself, and stick my hand in.
Make an investigation roll. With your words.
Oh, nice. 10.
You reach around and start feeling. Several beetles are crawling on top of your hand. You start hearing the crunching sound of all the dead leaves, but you immediately feel what feels like a piece of jewelry, an oval pendant. You extract your hand, and it's platinum with a blue oval pendant in the middle of it. And there's an inscription on the back of it as you turn and look. And it reads, "To Lorna, 2 friends, 2 hearts, 1 love. Lucas."
Speaking of Lorna,
We have
looking
that.
about the gravestones, do I see any of those gravestones with her name on it?
Investigation roll, please.
I found the pendant Lucas sent us for as I slip it into
That
my,
would be a 21.
Good, good. We can keep our promise if we manage to make it back.
Yes.
Okay, you do see a tombstone, and it reads, "Lorna Grosvenor, beloved by Lucas, forever, my heart, my soul, my everything." And it has small little mushrooms going up the sides. Fireflies are dancing around the grave, sort of move away as you approach and see this.
I tap it with my hammer, make it glow using magical tinkering.
It just catches everybody's attention, it's all on edge, and you turn around and you see this.
And it glows a nice, brilliant, like bluish light. It's works. This is Lorna. We were supposed to give flowers, right?
I kind of just look over the tombstone again and walk towards it.
Okay.
Is there a song you could play for her?
Salt will kneel down and say some prayers.
Go ahead, Sol.
He'll kneel down to the.
What would you like to say?
Pretty much, Valkar, please guide her and Lucas when it's time to reunite and be happy.
Awesome.
And I put the flowers.
As he's doing this, I'm playing this plaintive, sad love song.
Like the saxophone. and as you play it, you guys see Iona step up very somberly, and he holds the sunflowers in his hands. What are you doing?
Placed the sunflower, the sunflowers and lay them down towards the area.
And as soon as you place them down, all of you immediately from the house hear the sound of something shattering and slamming on walls within that house, and then it gets quiet.
You could actually see that Ionis is kind of like distraught.
It was the moment the flowers touched the ground.
It seems all the problems in this town seem to be in that house, and he keeps on calling us.
Well, in mine, that's what I'm playing.
There is a sign you guys can see to the right of the cemetery going towards there's a path that's overgrown, but you can see in the distance of the trees of that sign, there appears to be an old mountain. It's about maybe a good 200 feet away. And the sign reads, it's covered with moss, but you clearly see it says, "To the Platinum Mine."
House first, then platinum.
Works for me, and I just start walking through the cemetery toward them.
I'll go with it.
Salt will follow, pick up Sparky.
Well, I tap the gravestone once more, make the light dim, and then.
Okay. So
You still smell like bacon.
the people approaching the house. What were you doing in that part? Just laying what are you on the ground? Sorry.
No, I was just getting rid of the light.
Oh, the light's
put on
dissipating it?
Yeah.
That was a good magic spell. So, the rest of the party, this grand multi-story house has fallen prey to the elements, but unlike most of the village, seems somewhat intact. Heavy wooden doors are flanked by dark windows that have been completely shattered. In fact, all the windows on the first floor appear to be overgrown with foliage and branches and vines just spilling out. Unlike most of these other houses in this village, there are numerous and hundreds of mushrooms all along its walls, going up its sides. Mushrooms of different colors and shapes, some the size of your thumbnail, some the size of a tire, all around this house. Though all the windows are shattered and completely covered with branches, vines, foliage on the first floor. Second floor windows, some of them look intact, as if probably into the second floor. There's rooms to be had. Front doors are closed.
Shall I can climb. Well, do you want me to check the windows up top?
Would you like me to open the door?
You can just knock on it and see if anyone's home.
I doubt anyone's home, to be honest with you.
Well, we heard voices.
There is definitely something in there.
Yeah, we heard kids' voices too.
Maybe they're cordial. They'll just let us in.
Any of the mushrooms poisonous?
Do a nature check, please.
Oh, that's a 2.
8. What did you get?
5.
Yeah, you think they are, you don't know, but there are a lot of weird mushrooms, and with your studies and with the roll you made earlier, a lot of these mushrooms that you've never seen before in studies and books.
So I move my mage hand over to the door and
Did you get your mage hand?
we're gonna knock first.
Owls in the distance seem to be disturbed by that. There's no answering at the door,
Pull it open.
but you hear movement inside the windows of some of these rooms that are overgrown on the first floor.
Go ahead and pull it open.
Mage hand opens up the door, and inside you see an entranceway. The hands can't see,
Right.
but the doors open up safely.
Real quick, should maybe 2 or 3 of us go around and look around the building? Maybe there's more than one entrance.
Do you want to illuminate in there really quick? See, make sure there's nothing in
I'll
They look somewhat dark.
dig in another pebble, tap my hammer against the little sparks, it lights up, and I throw it in.
You suddenly hear it sounds like a mother searching for her child who's hiding in a house. The pebble goes in.
I'm gonna step
And you guys all hear it.
So I'm going inside. I'm just gonna take a couple of steps inside.
All right. Can you show me? Actually, please, you can slide those back. I'm gonna set up the first piece. This is the front door. So let's put you guys lined up in order. Who's gonna go in first?
So I walk to about here.
I'll be right next to you.
On that side. You here?
Yeah, as soon as the grass isn't tall, I'll hop down and get on the floor.
For the people who just walked into this area, dust covers everything in this wide hallway. There are moth-eaten cloaks that hang to your left on the wall. Floating pollen and dust particles move about this entranceway, almost like if you're looking into a snow globe. Leafless vines clinging to all the walls and interior of this first floor. At the end of the hallway is a stairwell that leads up to a second level. And from where you stand, all the rooms on this floor appear to be completely overgrown with all sorts of bushes and vines and tall grass and strange mushrooms, almost making them impassable. There is a faded oil painting to your right of a woman. And near the base of the stairs, you see a rusted bird cage. Seems to be lying on its side, covered in some dead weeds in that void in space right over there.
Is there a name or any writing with the painting to describe who it is?
But the,
So what I need you to do is, let's start with that. You guys also notice there seems to be a crude hand axe on the second step going up the top of the stairs, and it's bedded on an angle. Make a investigation roll.
5.
This is what you see. It's a painting that depicts an older, fair-skinned woman. She's wearing a cream-colored coat, pale green scarf around her throat. Her dark hair is pulled up. It's intricate. She wears a delicate platinum diamond earrings, and both her hands are folded down towards her lap. But unfortunately, you don't see any names or anything else of importance. You don't see that. So,
Salt will walk up, and does the lady in the painting look related to the florist?
make an investigation roll.
16.
16 and 14. She looks very similar to the florist. In fact, in the painting, notice that she has a ring, a platinum ring. It looks like a snowdrop blossom on her finger.
I think this is the florist's mother. Seems to. And there's what the ring would look like.
So where is that painting? Like,
It's to the right on that door. To someone that doorway, right there. No, towards me more. Right there. Right. Yep. Along that wall. On the left side of that doorway, going into that cluttered room. So like
That
Yep.
nectar stuff that she picked up,
Yep.
how much of an area does
20
that cover?
feet.
Just
20 feet, based on the studies you both had.
Alan is just kind of staring at the painting, kind of his head cocked, and he just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't add up. The numbers don't work. He looks at the painting, and is there anything about the painting that seems odd or off? Is it?
I mean, it doesn't have any vines on it.
Make an investigation roll.
Natural 20.
Net 20! The painting of the woman, she looks very sad. That is the only thing you really can pick up on it. Very sad from someone's face in a painting. It almost brings sadness to your heart as well.
How old does she look in the painting?
Probably in her early 40s.
And she was. I kind of look over and I kind of look at everybody and I say, the florist. How old do you suppose she was?
I am not good with ages.
How long did half elves live for?
It's a bit older, but
They're the same ages as.
Slightly longer than humans.
so what are you thinking that
Did she seem about the same age as the bartender?
Yes, she did.
They did.
And when did the mine collapse? 60 years ago.
So they would have been about 10.
And she's the daughter.
Yeah.
Her mother never left.
Salt, right? The floor beneath you seems very creaky, unstable, almost like soft, like bouncy. You understand that it's probably corroded, all the wood floors, and you guys sort of get that feel as well as you see him looking down at his feet. The ground all is a very old wood planks of wood, and very bouncy. Almost like if you went into a trailer, a mobile home park, and it's some type of building, structure that's been weathered by storm and rain.
This is off the cuff, but is there anything behind the painting?
I can go.
You step up, floor sort of bounces a little bit, almost feels like it's going to give way. You grab and you look, there's nothing except for a void of pollen. So there's like a green haze to the walls, but when you remove it, you see the square void of the green.
Noticing the bend in the floor, can I look around this for any, like, definitely avoid areas, like where it looks like if you put a little bit of pressure, you're going to fall in?
Make an investigation roll, 18 or higher.
I think you should put that painting back. We wouldn't want to disturb it.
15.
Yeah, you can't really, but you
Wanted to check. Not
don't
your
feel
news.
that little bounce in your
Yeah,
foot
yeah.
because you're so small. But you know all of them based on their size.
Judging.
It makes you, it makes you uncomfortable for them.
I look a little heavy.
On the second floor, some of you guys started hearing tapping.
Shall we check out the axe? That's in
Yes.
the wall.
With caution.
It's precarious.
All right, so we're gonna start walking forward. Who's first?
Salt will go.
You guys can show me a line of order.
Just put me last.
I'll go next to last.
I'm gonna be on this side, but I'm off the road.
Every step you guys are taking, it's very creaky, very bouncy.
I guess I'm not moving then.
I'll go pick up my shining rock right now. Does anyone need this? I can see. Okay, I toss it to you. It's still working. It shines light. 5 foot radius. Yeah, bright light for 5
Approaching the stairs, you do see a very small, crude axe. To you, it's reminiscent of a goblin axe because goblins primarily use black feathers, and there is a black feather at the bottom of the blade where the actual stone axe meets the handle. The axe is embedded into the second step on an angle. You do see all of you guys. It looks like a dark brown liquid that pools a lot where the axe is, and it sort of dissipates as it goes up the stairs. You guys, except for you because you're not there, the rest before you guys make a investigation roll. 12. Anybody 12 or higher?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20!
20, dirty.
What?
3. I got a 0.
Dirty 20.
I literally either see everything or I trip over my own feet.
So you two guys immediately pick up very old claw marks embedded on the stairs as if something is being dragged up the stairs, and whatever claws this being or creature had was trying to fight, and it's being dragged up the stairs.
But they're not as small as like
They look like
goblins
hand-
digging into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ah, something bad happened with goblin here.
Yes.
I assume this is blood.
Goblin blood brown? Maybe it's just dried blood.
Maybe. I don't know. I've seen.
You can make a medicine check, you guys. This is the highest. 18.
7, 18.
5.
I know nothing with blood.
Yeah, that looks like some type of very old blood. That's the color of blood it gets, almost like a dark brown, blackish over time. But you can't tell what type of blood it is.
Somebody throw up something
taste
for
it.
Susan.
So, I need you, big man, to make take a 20-sided die, roll it. If you roll a 1, shit's going to happen.
15.
Fine, nothing happens. The floor is still kind of crazy. Since you're on guard, I need you to make a perception roll. 10, please.
I did taste the blood.
18.
Ooh. You think you're crazy, but you realize that a lot of the foliage from all the rooms appears to be spilling out a little more. You look at it, and you're like, wait a minute. It's almost like it's growing. You don't see it growing, but it doesn't look as big as it did before. It doesn't look as small as it did before. From all those 4 rooms, like it's sort of spilling out more into the hallway.
Guys, I feel like we're not alone here. We should hightail it out of here.
No, we need the ring upstairs.
Yeah, we should hightail it out of where we are right now and go upstairs.
Oh. Alright, reach down, grab the axe.
Alright, that's a really old, crusty axe. It's going to be a 1d4 slashing damage.
Inferior.
It is. Yeah, you discussed it by picking up a goblin axe.
I might be able to throw it. Who knows? It might come handy.
Alright, so who's going? Show me the order of everyone going up the stairs, please.
Salt will be in the front.
I'll be behind Salt. We've been buddies.
I'll be right behind you.
Alright, I'll go third.
And everyone's going up, you two? Alright, so we're going to start the trek. These steps are very, very unstable. You take a step,
catch you if you fall.
even the kobold feels how unstable they are. Starting with the first person in the group, take a 20-sided dice, please, and roll it.
Right behind.
2.
You're so lucky. You barely make it up, and you know that your weight was about to give in. You were to crash, but you get up to the second level. Next up, go ahead.
12.
You're good.
What are we rolling for?
20-sided die. Roll a 1. Fucked up shit's gonna happen.
5.
The kobold falls.
13.
It's embarrassing, Sparky.
Ooh. And you finally make it up to the second floor.
Spark get a big lunch.
Okay. Move your gas, please. I need to take that and... Thank you.
Okay.
So you guys will be coming up this way. So let's do 1, 2, 3, line them up.
Yep, that was 3.
That matter. Yeah.
You were in the back.
Yep.
Should we check the right chapter?
As you start approaching the top landing, you see all the banisters and the walls are covered with mushrooms and vines, like the rest of the house. There's an open landing that waits for you guys at the top of the stairs. This too is also covered with different foliages and dead leaves. You see mushrooms of all different types and sizes creeping through the wooden floor planks on the second floor. 2 closed doors lie before you. Other rooms are completely overgrown like downstairs. There is a large entranceway to another room reserved to the southern wall. It appears to be like an old library. Who the top 3 guys?
Saul.
The top 3 make perception rolls, please. 15?
15.
Yeah, same. Top 3. To your right, at the top of the stairwell, you see height markings on the wall, as if somebody had a child. You see multiple ones, and at the very top of the height markings, you see the word Astra carved into the wall.
I have not been the short since
You
I
were
was cut.
at the bottom ones, yeah. It's a big kid. God damn it.
Salt Lake Ben sounds like I haven't been here since Cub. Very small.
All right, so this is what we have. There's a door here that's closed, door here that's closed. These doors are open as tons of branches and weeds and vines are all spilling out. These rooms are completely impassable. There is, however, another structure where you see lots of chairs. There's some dark stains on the ground, some dragging into a room here, the closed door. You really know what they are. So,
Quick question: was there any other names
No.
with the child markings?
That's it.
Just Astra. Oh,
So the florist,
Yeah.
Astra.
Astra was the name of the florist.
Florist, yeah.
Do you want to sketch your name in there?
Look.
Take the bottom of my hammer that has a little point on it and start scratching my name in.
all right, sounds
And
good.
dude, someone, I'm like,
All right, he's doing that.
Takes a claw.
All right, so what would you guys like to do?
Should we check the room the blood goes to? That seems to be the probably most dangerous.
You could go to both.
Why would we
Go
start
both.
with the blood?
Why
That
do
seems
I
like
have a feeling that something is in these?
if one
All this blood in
has
the bodies.
danger, yeah.
That's a good point.
Do we hear anything? Is there anybody up here making noise?
No, nothing. The knocking that you heard got quiet. You occasionally hear the sound of plants and grass or leaves moving. Probably the wind.
I would like to check the library.
Okay. Anybody else can disagree or I'll go together?
Yeah,
I'll
that's
go
fine.
with you.
I'm following Soul, like
Salt, Salt
clinging
will,
to his leg.
We can
a
not
little
split
bit.
the party. That sounds good.
Salt will be on the edge of staring at the door that has the blood coming.
You went here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm right behind you.
The first person going, which would be you, you notice that shelves are filled with old books that are all moldy, unreadable, that line this library. You also see 4 wingback chairs that surround a round table. At the wide, there's beyond the chairs, there's a wide bank of windows that overlook the front yard. You actually see the old dilapidated tree that was out front, the branches clearly outside the windows. Vines and other foliage have creeped in from outside into this library along the walls. Again, almost like skeletal hands trying to reach in and spread its evil into the house.
None of the books look readable, legible at all. They're just
No, but there are some books that do look legible on the table, surrounded by the chairs.
staying as far away from the walls as I possibly can. I walk over to the table.
First, you see there are all sorts of books of history and politics, business, some sweeping novels, nothing particular. Other books that catch your attention. You see a book that talks about physical and emotional trauma. Another book about nightmares. Another book that talks about cannibalism. And another book that talks about solving mysterious disappearances. All seem kind of out of place.
Anything in front?
What? In front?
Anything-
Nothing in front. There is, however, a folded letter appears on the table. Do you pick it up with your hands, sir?
I pick it up with my mage hand.
Mage hands appears, grabs a letter, and this is what you see.
So the mage hand is holding it out in front of me. Where to start? beginning, I'd imagine. Could this be the answer? Spores from the mine. These things from my dreams in the shadows. Plants, creatures consuming my village and our people. Am I crazy? Probably. In my dreams, I see these shapes moving from our village to the platinum mine. These creatures taking my people, our children into that mine. What? Since they only creep about in the dark, my guess is that they are subterranean. These things are possibly sensitive to bright light. But what if I'm wrong? My elvish arrows of Coralon should help, if true. Elvish arrows of Coralon.
That would be good in hand.
I can use some more arrows.
Same here.
Well, that's quite a lot. Shapes in the darkness, taking children.
Having come from a subterranean environment, do these spore creatures, does anything jog some kind of memory there?
Let's make a history check. And let me see, hold on.
Ooh, that's 19.
How do you know what it is?
Plus 3, so 22.
You've heard about plant-type creatures called machinids, also tree people. But nothing, those creatures you've heard about aren't evil or would do something as dragging people off to eat, that kind of shit. So that's the only knowledge you have of any type of, but the ones you know of are peaceful.
As soon as he says the thing about arrows, I want to like start looking around and be like, I can use some arrows.
Make an investigation roll.
Sparky shares the
18.
information with my
Library 18. Underneath the round table with the chairs, you see a large elvish bow covered in dust and pollen. And there are 2 arrows lying next to it. The heads of the arrows almost look like glass and give off subtle sparkling glows that are very faint, but you picked up on it. So what you found is an elvish arrow. The user of this arrow, if they're elvish, they get a +1 on their attacks. The 2 arrows are called arrows of blinding. Arrows of blinding. There's only 2 of them. They do 1d6 piercing damage. However, if you hit that target, any other creatures, players, or beings adjacent to that target are all blinded for 1d4 rounds.
Wow, she's searching. Can I cast the detect magic ritual again?
Yes.
So I'm so jarry.
Like a little 7.
Some kind of just like looks at you. He's like, this is like a very strange way.
It's a shake weight.
He also has detect magic. He just like
As Kira takes out the longbow and the arrows, they don't see it, but you see that arrows thing with a blue
So
glow.
is it more important
Okay.
damage? Or
That's about the most magic you feel.
I would
Walking
say
about the room, there's no other magic.
Nope.
I let her know that they're magical. Blue, the magic on them. Oh, yes.
Are you an elf by any chance?
Excited.
You're not an elf, right?
I'm not an elf, but I am very good with archery type weapons.
Okay, that's fine then. It's a beautiful, and you being elf, you see it as a very beautiful old elvish arrow that's probably passed down generations with this family.
Yeah, that's quite an heirloom. I would prefer. I think the owner would prefer to have it in the hands of someone proficient in its use.
I am good with that.
I'm good with bow, but I'm not a elf.
What are you talking about? She shoots bows. We just.
That's fine with me. I'm not arguing. I have the crossbow. I can shoot one-handed. The other hand, worthless in a fight.
Just try to persuade her. It's not gonna happen. Try like oiling yourself, take your shirt off, and be like, "Hey." There's nothing else of value, time-wise, in this room. So, you've got 2 other rooms you can look at, or you can just leave.
Yeah.
It's a two-handed weapon, right?
Yeah.
While I have the tech magic up, I'm gonna just jolt around. I guess run. Follow me.
So
Let's try the first one. Yeah.
So yeah. I don't want to be the first in.
as you're walking up, he'll bump to the door and just slam open.
Is the door open or
It's closed.
I'm gonna check.
This is a closed door. That's a closed door. As you guys see the kobold going forward, you notice there are several fireflies resting on his back. He doesn't feel them, and they're slowly and peacefully just glowing on his back. You don't pick up any magic.
I'm just gonna check for traps.
Make a perception.
Nat 20.
Nat 20! get that out of the way now, please.
We're just warming up.
Ones, all the ones.
There are no traps, but you do see on the ground what appears to be a dark brown, blackish substance on the ground, smearing like almost like paint going into that room where the closed door is.
I don't want my boots to get dirty on that.
Bit of assistance real quick would you mind using your mage hand to open the door while I
Not at all.
knife ready, just in case?
It seems to be doing quite the
Which
job.
side, right?
Yeah.
Who else is standing in front of the door? You are? The door opens outward towards you guys. Alright.
That's quite a mess.
As soon as the door opens up with the mage hand, the smell of decayed flesh and flora is extremely strong in this room. From where you stand at the doorway, you clearly see a decayed body lying in the bed. It's covered in mushrooms, has massive leaves covering its entire body, and vein-like vines that are all about the bed going up to the body. The body's head appears as if it's been split completely open. There's a massive fungal bulb growing out of its head. The only resemblance of a face, in fact, is the crooked jaw, the mandible hanging on a creepy-looking angle with a decaying tongue out its side. You also see that there is a massive cavity in the middle of the chest of this individual. Flowers and mushrooms and vines are all spilling out as if something was growing inside it. The hands are covered completely in bark, almost as it's old wood over time coagulated, and the bark has vines going to the ground, into the floor, the spaces between the floors, as if the person was being held down against their will. This person obviously suffered dearly. Beetles and moths flutter about the room, and the cadaver flying in and out of its chest. There is a sense of pity and anguish you all feel when you see this unfortunate person in this room.
Does it
Then I
look
say,
like?
ha, splitting headache.
Does it look like all the other foliage from the room is like coming from the source?
From the body and outside this whole room is it's from the body and also the windows spilling out and in a fireplace.
Can we tell anything about the identity or any trace of the cadaver?
You can make a nature check.
10.
I don't think it's that high.
Sparky,
8.
can you tell
All
if
you can
that's
tell
magical?
it's a humanoid figure with that roll. If I
Can I tell if it's
this
magical?
person has suffered dearly.
Salt will look around, see if like what happened more, like what maimed or killed this.
Make an investigation roll.
8.
Yeah, you can't really tell. I mean, you think that maybe something was growing inside its body from this huge bulb that busted through the skull and the chest being open.
I work my way in. Any nothing magical in this room either.
Whose is this?
That's me.
Oh.
As they go into that room, you hear noises coming from downstairs. Sounds like shuffling, moving. Occasionally you hear squeaking sounds of the steps on the first level. So the rest of you guys are in this room.
Yeah. I'm by the door still.
You're getting closer to the
I'm gonna
body.
say I would be.
Do I
You
have
notice
a
nobody
straight-
else is picking up on what you're hearing coming downstairs, and it sounds like someone's coming up the stairs very slowly.
Do I have
Yeah,
a
let's-
straight shot
like,
at the
yeah.
stairs? Like, can I see towards the
getting
bottom of the
And you know it
stairs?
goes up. Yeah, sure.
So we're both.
I'm being,
You
we'll be
looking,
investigating.
peeking over?
I wanted to shoot at a stair, like at one of the lower stairs.
Okay. You can, you look, and you shoot. It goes straight and hits the ground. There's still movement. Nothing happens though.
Okay.
You guys hear the sound of her bolt being extracted from the crossbow. Looking back, you see her. A shadow catches your attention, unfortunately, at the bottom of the stairs. A tall, humanoid creature standing in the stairwell starts looking up towards your direction. This humanoid creature is covered with blisters, mushrooms, and moss. Its long skeletal arms are outstretched, its body moving like a marionette puppet. As its head sort of tries to look upward, you see its head has been split open. There's a huge floral fungal growth coming out. Its mouth chattering below as saliva drips down to its chest. This creature slowly starts making clicking sounds like a bat, and and you guys all hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll for initiative.
We stuck into the last of us.
Oh no.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. That's great description.
Fun.
Ever seen the White
Right place?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
They look.
Glad you have that bow.
But yeah, no, a clicker.
And I have a
Basically.
crossbow game, so
Yep.
I can shoot 2 crossbows
Great game.
every round.
Yo, dude, I haven't played the second one
That's
yet.
why I make him
Amazing game. Second one is way better.
But yeah, I felt the first game was amazing.
I'm trying to decide. I feel like if I pour the thing that she gave us on the right person, it'll finish all of this, but I don't know the right person.
Have you like announced to us like shit's coming up the stairs?
I thought you could hear
Yeah,
it.
you guys all heard. So first you heard the crossbow, you looked over in her direction, and you just see this massive head starting coming up the stairs, ascending, and she started backing up with her crossbow.
I made my way on the bed.
It's a one-handed crossbow.
Okay, so who got, let me roll. I'll call the dice. Give you guys an advantage.
And I see it outside the door.
We don't
Right,
need that. It's okay.
anybody got a 15 to 20?
I got 22.
Anybody
I got a 15.
Yeah, I got 15 as well.
So I got a
Salt. I'll put, which one of you guys want to go first?
You're right there, so
Sparky. Who got 10 to 15? Okay.
11. I'm sorry.
You got 11?
Yeah.
Ionis? What did you get? 5. Ah, I actually beat you.
Awesome.
All right. So the order that I have for actions and/or combat or communication is Salt, Kira, Sparky, Ionis, this creature, and Alan. So Salt, you're up. Now you count your movement. Each box is about 8 feet.
Alright, so he'll look around, come here, see the thing. Like, huh. So 8, 16. And then he'll beeline agility to get it should be enough. So he's right next to it. And then he'll swing his short sword at it.
Let's see, over the railing. Yeah, it's tall enough. It's about maybe 8 feet tall, so yeah, I'll let you take a shot.
That will be 17 hit
That is a hit.
for 5 damage.
Nice.
And he'll say the as a bonus action, say the command word for the animated shield so it's out.
And it does. The animated shield flies next to you and you feel comfortable. You're like a mascot that's going to protect you at all times. You hit this creature, but it didn't accrue as much damage to take it down. Kira, you're up.
So I'm gonna use as my action to like move away from it.
Can I charge you?
Over there somewhere. And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna shoot my one-handed crossbow.
Alright, now because he's in front of you, if you roll a 1, Salty might get hit. Salt might get hit. So
Okay.
go for it.
13. Wait. No. 14.
It's a hit.
6 damage.
You hear the sound of a mosquito right by your ear as a bolt flies past you and impales this creature into its shoulder. Nice shot. Any other bonus actions or anything like that?
No.
Sparky.
I use my bonus action to cast magic stones after I pull 3 pebbles out of my pocket, and then I toss one at the creature.
Do I? Okay.
So that is a 11 to hit.
You miss, unfortunately. It sails past it and hits the wall. Anything else?
I'm staying on the bed.
Okay. That's a
Is
good
there any
throw.
movement over by you, or do you notice
Say again?
anything around you? Any movement?
Oh yeah,
You're shouting that out. Well, that's not your turn, so you gotta wait.
yeah. I'm focused on.
Ionis, you're up.
Alright. Is this character about 5 feet away from there?
They're right next to each other.
Alright. And
It's the landing. It's about to come up. Even though if this was a normal height person, the head would probably be here, but because it's so tall, it's not.
yeah.
Two tall people stabbing each other.
I'm going to toss the dagger at him.
You gonna throw a dagger?
Yep.
Go for it. Remember, there's 1, so you can get hit.
So that is altogether 12.
You just miss it. flies over, hits the wall, crashes to the ground. It's this creature's turn. It's going to reach up with its massive hands and try to grapple you. Its hand touch you. You need, let's say, strength versus strength.
60.
I rolled a 5, of course, but these dice are beautiful. It goes to grab you, and you just push it back. It sort of makes a clicking sound and moves up to this area right here. Okay, next is going to be Alan.
So I'm going to move where I'm sort of half covered behind the bookcase there and attempt to hit it with my crossbow.
Okay, where are you? Right here.
Right there.
You want to stand in the doorway or stand behind next to her like that? Or...
Yeah.
Alright, just the chair out the way. Yeah, you guys are good. Go.
14.
That is a hit.
9 damage.
Oof, it's bloody. Nice. Your bolt cells center mass. It actually screeches.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to inspire someone.
Oh, nice.
He was playing music earlier. I don't know why I didn't make the connection.
In the midst of combat, Sparky,
It's like an irritating.
you feel the bed almost shifting and moving, almost like there's an earthquake or something. But the room's not shaking. You suddenly hear behind you the sounds of a screeching. And the body on the bed comes to life. It's about a good 8 feet tall.
I am right on that thing too.
Yeah, so
Oh god. No.
it's top of the order. Soldier up.
I scream.
Sparky, okay? And then he looks at me like, we'll deal with this one first. 21 to hit. And 6 damage.
This creature's arm falls completely off. This creature, so it gets disadvantage on any physical attacks. It's very badly injured. Damn. Anything else?
He will stay where he is for right now. And that'll be his turn. He'll just kind of... Yeah, that's it.
Okay, next up is Kira.
So can I start by, can I toss him the little vial thing?
Toss who?
Sparky.
Okay, let's make the movement.
Well, I was gonna toss it. Can I toss it in there?
Yeah, he's in the bedroom.
Yeah,
so you gotta go all the way around. Your
Okay,
turn.
I'll shoot this person first and then I'll do my...
You'll do the movement?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not going to be able to throw it, because that'll be another action. So I'm going to allow you to do your action to attack the movement.
I'll leave you. Okay.
She goes up to the doorway. You approach and you see this body towering up with its bulb head, bottom jaw chattering away. Its hands are completely covered in bark, and its open chest cavity has these vines that are actually slowly moving, almost like tentacles about its body. And it's towering over him. You see his eyes are like, yeah.
Okay. And then do I roll to toss it?
Yes. What are you going to say?
What?
What are you going to tell him?
Catch this.
A 5 or higher, you throw it towards him, and then he would have to make the grab.
Is this the nectar you're throwing in?
Yeah. 17.
Okay, make a dexterity grab. 10 or higher.
So just add my saving throw?
Yes, saving throw. Yep.
Okay, that's 19.
You grab it. Okay, that's a free action, by the way. Anything else? You want us? You good?
I guess I can shoot it with my bonus action.
That was your action, running up and yelling and then throwing at things.
Okay, so no. Okay.
Sparky.
I guess I take this nectar and jab it into, like...
Alright. That's going to be a fight, like a hit, so yeah, it's got an armor class.
Okay, what am I adding to that?
If you were striking somebody, so it'd be your strength modifier.
+1. So
11. You completely miss.
I'm scared.
You go to hit it, and completely jump back, and you're small, yeah, and it just starts moving and contorting in a way that you could not get that hit. Anything else?
Well, it's a gas. Can I just break it on the ground then? Right?
No, your turn was to hit it.
Okay.
So the next turn, you're thinking about shattering it.
Alright,
Bonus actions.
Yeah, sure. It squeals at me, and I And I squeal. He would call it a roar, but it's a high-pitched squeal. And until the end of my next turn, everyone has advantage against this creature.
Ooh.
As I let out a draconic roar that's actually a squeal, but
That creature.
yes.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Ionis. Now you know there's action going in both bedrooms. One bedroom rather, and at the top of the stairs. This tall creature looks pretty injured, but it's still very deadly. And then you got action in that room. As you turn around, you see the other body standing up, elevated up, probably by plants, as it moves forward.
Take out another knife. No, I'm sorry, another dagger.
Yep.
And go for that one.
Okay, go for it.
With advantage.
Yeah, you have
Throw it. It misses.
Misses.
Yeah,
That's a
completely.
7 plus
It goes
5.
sailing off, and you hear it whiz past you between you and the creature, hitting over here the fireplace and clanks to the ground completely. You guys sort of make eye contact with each other.
I'm still squealing.
Okay. You gonna move in?
Yeah. I can stay right up there. So it'll be fine.
Okay.
And stand right in front of a ranged attacker.
Well, he just threw a dagger.
Everybody's ranged attackers except for me.
Salt. This creature at the top of the
So
stairs. You see like a green pus spilling out of its appendage spot. Its mouth opens up, and a spore cloud shoots right at you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. It's pretty low. 10.
I just passed with that one, I think. Yep, 11.
You take 2 points of poison damage. And then it's going to stay there. It's going to tussle with you the next round. Now it's this creature. Getting over here. And it's,
You're fine.
it sees Ionis running into the room. Its hands goes to his side. This thorns shoot out of its cavity, chest cavity, and goes straight for you, running into the room. Let's see if there's multiple targets. Nope.
One healer kill.
Look at that net 20. You're in there.
Yeah.
What is that? It's a 2. These darts come flying at you, and you just jump out the way with your cape, and you squat down in a superhero pose that completely misses you with all these darts that fly out of its body. Alan, you're up.
All right, crossbow again. 17.
That is a hit.
5 damage.
And you, my friend, take it out. Explain to us how you dispatch this creature.
So I'm hiding. I lean out from the door, fire the crossbow. I see it streak right between the eyes, and just poof. Head gone.
Gone. This creature falls down the stairs. You hear the squeaking of the steps, and it falls dead. Next up is going to be top of the order, Salt.
He'll look over at Alan. He's like, does a little wave as he dashes over with his feline agility and gets back over here.
All right, I'll give it to you. Yep.
And he,
That was your dash?
no, feline agility. Ratio trait.
Again, guys, a lot of stuff I don't
Sorry,
know. The
you're
new
fine.
shit, explain it to me.
Sorry, it's a ratio trait. I can, since I didn't move last turn, I can use it again.
Awesome.
It gives me a free dash. And I will attack the.
You have advantage.
So,
Yeah. Till the end of my turn.
16 to hit
That is a hit, my friend.
for 4 damage. What is it?
Till the end of my turn. So,
4 damage.
That is, it does damage, not much, but it does enough. 4? Yep. Next up is Kira.
So can I yell at Sparky and be like, hey, throw that in the air, the vial, and then
oh, are we coordinating an attack? I love it.
And what else? You yell that out, he hears it.
so like, can he throw it, or do I have to wait
You have to
until
wait till
his
his
turn?
turn, yeah.
Okay, so can I hold my turn
Yep.
until he goes?
What do you want to hold in reaction?
I was gonna like shoot it to be very dramatic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it. Yep. Hold your action. Great.
Because like, if he's not strong enough, maybe I can.
Sparky.
So, is that free action just to throw something up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I toss it up.
And it shatters. A green mist circumvents and moves inside the entire room up to about your knee level. The mist starts going up the sides of this creature as it starts screaming in pain. Roll a 10-sided die. That's a 4. It takes 4 points poisoning damage, and it has now roll a 4-sided die.
That's a lot.
Alright, for one turn, its next turn it has disadvantage whatever it does. Alright.
And since that was my free action, as you're ready, I will just reach out and grab it and cast Shocking Grasp.
Alright, go for it.
That's a 11. Oh wait, I had advantage till the end of my turn.
Right.
That's a 1.
He rolled a 1!
Okay. So this thing's just frightening and not doing good. You said it has disadvantage now?
On its next turn. On its next turn, it has disadvantage. Whatever it does.
Would it have trouble hitting me if I try to move away from it?
No, I gotta make a roll.
Okay, I'm going to try to skirt away.
Oh yes, I will do disadvantage on my opportunity attack.
Yes.
So these two out. It tries to.
Around the edge
Well, hold
here.
on, let's put you up here. It's gonna try to reach out and grab you. I'm gonna just do like a fighting attack. See, that dice is great. Let's see, it's 12. I'm at disadvantage, and let's see. Does a 14 grab you?
No.
Ooh.
Armor class?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15.
Oh shit! So you skedaddle out of there as it reaches for you and misses.
Just duck right under its.
Push you back outside. Yep.
So as my bonus action, like I shot the vial with one action, and the bonus action I can shoot one more.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back.
So I'm gonna wait for him to clear out of the way,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna shoot a crossbow. 23.
That is a hit. Wow. She's killing it.
7 points of damage.
This creature is bloodied. Another shot sent her mass. You know,
And I
normally.
give Sparky a little nod.
I'm just running.
Ionis.
Well, I know what it is offhand, but I'll go up, and while coming up, I'm taking up the vampire's sword.
Explain what it does to everyone.
Okay. Let me pull it back, because actually I've never seen it.
It's called a dagger of vampirism.
It's a sword.
A sword of vampirism.
Did you come with that item, or where did it come from?
It came, I was a part of the last game, so.
It was a previous one shot I ran.
Yeah. So, in essence, what the sword does, I can tell you what it does. As long as I hit a creature and I lost hit points or anything, I can regain hit points according to that hit. If
Right.
I hit it.
Right. This is
It's a life steal.
Yeah.
And I think you only can use it so many times a day or so. Oh, one time per target.
One per target.
One per target.
So, yeah.
So it's almost like mana drain. Where you just go for
So
it.
it's plus 7,
She was on my foot.
plus 19. So that's a hit.
That is a hit.
And I remember what the damage is. And I'm going to add
Like
sneak
your
attack to that too as well.
Damage after the roll. Go for it.
Yeah.
So that will give me a bunch. Alright, so that's 5 plus 9, 10, 11 damage.
No shit. Describe to us in slow motion movie fashion how you take this creature out.
So the sword is in the sheath when I come up to it, and I just bring it right upward and it's cut to the side of the neck.
And it drops with that sudden motion. And falls to the ground. And suddenly it falls completely quiet as this massive creature, humanoid creature, falls on its ground. Its hands covered in wood falls down. It's motionless. Now it's quiet in the house.
Alan walks out of the library and he kind of looks around and goes, "Something happening in there."
You just see.
Oh,
you just see Sparky,
nothing at all.
Nothing we can't handle.
Oh, there's
No,
three
no,
of you taking care of nothing.
Nothing. There was nothing that happened.
Okay then.
All right, so
Well done.
anything else you guys can do up here?
Can I search the room, see if there are any,
Yeah, in that search, you're not find anything to save time. There's nothing of value in the room itself.
On the body of the creature.
You notice that one of the hands, the wood bark broke off, and you see two, the pinky and index fingers sticking out of the wood. one of the fingers, you see a heavy platinum ring. And it's inscribed with a snowdrop blossom.
Look what we have here.
He holds it up. I need everyone to make an Arcana check as he's holding it looking at this. Anyone gets 17 or higher, please let me know.
I did.
Like, use my inspiration.
10. 21.
It's not gonna help.
Really? Fucking cold.
17.
Plus 5.
What did you 10 you said?
10, yeah.
7.
Okay, my friend, as he's holding the ring up, because you're a smart fucking kobold, obviously. This is called a ring of minor evasion. You can use it once a day. If you fail any dexterity saving throw while wearing this, you get to re-roll as a free reaction. Oh no, wait! You get to use the reaction to expend it to make it a success. So you don't have to re-roll. So if you fail it once a day, you can.
Helps to not get hit
Yeah.
by saving things.
Does anyone mind if I
Give it to the
hold
road.
on to this?
Absolutely.
All right.
Alright, let's put it in your notes. It's called Ring of Minor Evasion. Once a day, if you fail a dexterity roll, you can use that charge so you can succeed on that dexterity roll. And that's a reaction, so. Or you can use a reaction.
Oh, I can use a reaction?
There's nothing else of value over here.
And she's taking off.
Saw it then.
Yep.
She's like, you're out of money.
Shall we check the last room, or we found what we came for?
Let's go then. Right.
Maybe there's some good shit in there.
I agree.
Okay, for sake of time, I'll move this out the way. Let's move your characters over, please.
Open the door with Meiji.
Major boy.
Everyone gets
Just a tidal wave of movement.
Okay. A double bed sits beneath some windows along the far wall. When you guys peer into this room, there's a fireplace that occupies one corner. There is a window overlooks the front yard, but it's completely shattered outward. And you see again some vines from outside the house going inside the room along the walls. Strange plants and beetles are fluttering about this room. Other than this bed, you see there is a journal on top of the bed. Nothing else of value in this room other than the journal.
Is the fire burning still?
No.
So we'll pick up the journal and bring it over to the bard.
The journal appears to have every page torn out except for one.
You are a man of books.
I'll open the journal and read the pages torn out.
The entrance reads, the journal discusses the disaster at the mine and the village's anguish at so many people who died within. It's written by the mayor, and she recounts many rescue efforts the day after the explosion, but they eventually had to stop trying to rescue people due to fears of further cave-ins in this large, deep mine. She also writes about villagers that suddenly started to begun going missing the days subsequent to the explosion. She chose to stay behind to investigate the disappearance of her people. She writes about how she sent her daughter to the town of Mayrin to protect her while she stays behind. And in the last few pages, the handwriting appears shaky, as if she was nervous or tense. She talks about a creeping fear, waking in the middle of the night soaked in sweat, and hearing lingering echoes throughout the night, also coming from the mine. And the last writing you read sort of makes your ears stand up, and it says, "Mr. Barrister dug too deep. Something within that mine. It must be stopped, or it will spread throughout the entire land. The answer is within that person's mind." And that's it. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So he reads that to you. You guys have an idea. There's nothing else of value in this room or on this floor.
Is it just 2 stories? There's nothing
That's
else?
it. No, that's
So
it.
the mine is definitely haunted, and Mr. Barrister is an idiot.
The answers are there, it seems.
Ah, yes. Good point, good point. I go over to the window and take a piece of glass, broken glass, and kind of scrape just the tiniest bit of this fungus off of the windowsill and put it into a pouch.
Okay, it's done. And at this juncture, since there's nothing else at this level, what would you guys like to do next?
I'm gonna go back and get my knives.
I will allow that to happen. So put that in your inventory.
I'll do the same with my crossbow.
This
Yes.
seems somewhat safe now. Do we need to take a rest before we head to the mines?
I will not allow. I'll tell you, I'm not gonna allow a long rest.
No,
Shit
no,
will go
like-
down. A short rest, I'm going to roll on that,
All right. Yeah, that's more just.
and I'm going to use my good dice. If I roll a 1 to a 10, you do not get your short rest. Something's going to happen. An event.
Wait, are we taking a short
No,
rest?
I'm asking them before.
I don't
Just want to make sure. I was like, I know me and you were the only ones that got hit. I think.
I didn't get hit.
Frankie's fine.
So I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm gonna steal, right?
Did you need healing?
No, I can heal myself.
I don't need you guys. I can heal myself.
Kobold spit. Best for wounds.
It's only mouth. It's only a minor.
Me heal you.
It's a minor injury. If more comes of it, we can deal with it then.
I'm a little bit worried about these growing vines. I don't know if it'd be best to rescue.
Good call.
That is fire.
My cookie.
And how are you able to heal yourself?
Makar gives me blessings. He is the storms and the energy through him give me power.
I climb back on you. And to the mines.
To the mines? To the mines. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
On the way out the door, I collect my crossbow bolts out of the dead thing at the bottom of the stairs.
Very good. I'm fine with that. All right, this is where we're going to take a little longer break. I have to set up a huge set piece. The next one is the final act, and we're looking at maybe 2, maybe 3 hours, and then we finally made it through. Hopefully you guys will succeed. So, go outside, I'll come get you, get some food, some snacks, get some energy, and then I'll come get you guys once it's all set up. On Twitch, take a break, come back. Walter, we're good. Thank you.
I totally forgot about it until I like started.
Sometimes they'll watch a little and they'll shut it off.
Yeah, so
A lot of people will view it after.